Hey there, and welcome to another draft video with me, Marshall Sutcliffe. I am from Limited Resources, but we are doing some live drafting here. Return to Ravnica 8-4. Let's take a look at what we have. We've opened a pretty lame rare here, a Grave Betrayal. I feel betrayed by this pack as it doesn't look very strong. There's a few reasonable things, though. There's a Bluster Squall. That's pretty good power level, although kind of hard to fit into the right deck. There's a Centaur Healer, which is, I think, what I'm going to be taking here. I think it's just the best card in this pack. A few other playables, though. Rootborn Defenses and Action Injunction. You know, these things are fine. Drudge Beetle, the Guildgate, even the Key Rune. These can all go in a deck. You know, these are all fine. But it's a pretty low power pack overall. Taking the Centaur Healer, maybe we go hardcore into Populate and get a Rootborn Defenses on the wheel. Let's see what happens here. All right, there's another Centaur Healer. There's also a Knightly Valor, an Ethereal Armor, and an Eyes in the Sky. So things are looking pretty good for us to wheel something out of this pack. Even a Chorus of Might might come back. I'm just going to take the second Centaur Healer here. Like, I think Knightly Valor is definitely worth mentioning alongside of it, but I think Centaur Healer is just a sweet, sweet card that opens up a lot of doors for you. And yeah, I like having that happen. So now we get to a little bit more interesting picks. There's a Courser's Accord, an Azorius Arrestor, an Armory Guard, and a Gate Creeper Vine. All of these are actually pretty cool. The Gate Creeper Vine enabling some pretty powerful splashes and being just kind of a random value card. I find that having a creature on the battlefield is actually pretty decent, even if it doesn't really block anything that you care about. Azorius Arrestor, just, you know, fine part of a curve. It can come down on turn 2, or you can draw it later and help punch through a bunch of damage. Courser's Accord is, you know, that's a card that you want in the Populate deck, and pretty much only the Populate deck. I don't, never really happy to run this thing unless I have quite a few cards that say Populate on them. It's not super impressive on its own, although I wouldn't say it's unplayable either. I think I'm going to take the Courser's Accord here and try to move in on some Populate cards if we see any come by. Now, this pack doesn't happen to have any, and there's not a lot going on here. Annihilating Fire is easily the best card in this pack. There's also a Dead Reveler, which is great. So basically, there's a lot of good Rakdos cards in this pack, and not a whole lot for us. A Brush Strider or a Monitor. I think I'm going to take the Brush Strider here, but I'm really unexcited about it. Okay. This one is also somewhat unexciting. There's an Explosive Impact, of which we could look to splash. There's also a Druid's Deliverance, which, yeah, seems okay, although we don't really have any token makers yet. There's also a Stonefair Crocodile, which is pretty underwhelming. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for the Druid's Deliverance here and try to pick up as many token makers as we can. That seems like a fine plan. Ooh. Well, this is, again, really, really decent stuff here for the Rakdos deck, but for our deck, we've got a Karaz the Guildmage, an Indrik, and a Selesnya Guildgate, and I like taking a Guildmage here. We can probably pick up a Golgari Guildgate at some point, and this Guildmage is fantastic. All right, not a whole lot here for us. Again, there's a Sluiceway Scorpion, an Avenging Arrow, and a Sundering Growth. I think I'm just going to take the Scorpion. It's a little bit weird to take 2 black cards in a row after what we have, but I don't really like Avenging Arrow very much, and there's just not that much here, so take the Scorpion. Kind of maybe make some adjustments to see where this draft takes us. I really like the healers, but we could end up being perhaps Golgari and splash the healers and cut the Accord. If we get like that Rootborn Defenses back or an Eyes in the Skies or something, then maybe we can kind of stick on plan here. Okay, so yeah, this pack, again, not that great. There's an Armory Guard, which might make the cut, and there's an Aerial Predation as well. An Azorius Guildgate does open up a splash, but we kind of already have where we want to be with the splash, potentially. I guess if we open some sweet blue-white card, we might want that. But I'm going to take the Aerial Predation here just because I like having one of those around. All right, so here's the Drudge Beetle, and yeah, so we did get the Chorus of Might back, but not anything more exciting than that. We might even just want to switch over and take cards like Xanarkev Locust here. Let's just see if maybe we're just Golgari. Chorus of Might is pretty mediocre anyway. It can be good in the right deck, but it doesn't look like this is going to happen. And this might not as well. So this hasn't gone particularly well, although I wouldn't call it a train wreck quite yet. There's an Armory Guard. There's also a Deviant Glee. Yeah, I think I'll take the Deviant Glee in case we end up being in Golgari. All right, there's a Spawn of Rixmati. Unlikely to make the cut. We got a Stonefair Crocodile. Not the worst. Elmer. Okay, so we don't really know exactly where we're going here with this next pack, but let's take a look at what we open, and we can kind of take it from there. We can go kind of two different directions here. It feels like this might be a little bit more open than Selesnya is, but it kind of depends on what we draw here. Or not draw, but open. And we got a pretty reasonable pack here. Guild Mage, Ultimate Price, another Guild Mage, Augur Spree, Annihilating Fire. Geez, there's quite a bit here. A Stab Wound. All three of these, Stab Wound, Annihilating Fire, Augur Spree in one pack, and also a Knightly Valor. So for me, I think it's between these two for our deck, a Guild Mage or an Ultimate Price. I really, really like Guild Mage, but probably just need to take the Ultimate Price. Makes me a little bit sad. We could take the Stab Wound, I guess. Try to splash an Augur Spree. I think Augur Spree is the best card there, but Stab Wound or Ultimate Price or Guild Mage if we're going to be in Golgari. It's actually really tough. Guild Mage is really fantastic. Stab Wound, as we know, can be somewhat of a win condition, but I think I got a little bit overrated. It's still awesome, though. And Ultimate Price is tough to come by there. Uncommon, instant speed, and cheap. Yeah, I guess I'll just take the Ultimate Price here. All right, we see a Gerard's Orders, a Launch Party, a Zanikev Locust, and a Selesnya Kieran. I like the Dead Reveler here, though. Gerard's Orders is okay. We don't really have much to get here. I mean, we could pitch this and grab anything, which is okay, but I think I'm just going to take the Dead Reveler here and try to be aggressive. Looks like there's another Dead Reveler. There's also another Centaur Healer, which is kind of interesting, but I think we veered over in this direction enough that I want to stick on the Dead Reveler plan, and we are instantly rewarded with the Dragmangler. There's also another Dead Reveler here. I would totally take that, but Dragmangler's really sweet. Karazda Monitor, Aerial Predation, Treasured Find, Rakdos, Shred Freak, Common Bomb. Probably just going to take this. We've already got one Aerial Predation. I don't love Treasured Find. Yeah, I'm just going to take this boring old Monitor. I think he'll be okay in our deck, though. I'm going to hide this for now. Probably hide this, too. Alright, so there's a Launch Party here. And a Savage Surge and a Stonefair Crocodile. A couple of other cards that we don't want. I'm going to take the Launch Party, though. I like having removal in my deck, even if it is kind of clunky. Trestle Troll, Catacomb Slug, or Stonefair Crocodile. I'm going to take the Troll. We've already got a Crocodile, and I really, really like how the Troll can handle certain deck archetypes. Just get stonewalled by that Troll. All right, a second Brush Strider or a Sluiceway Scorpion. I like Sluiceway Scorpion quite a bit better. Brush Strider's okay. If you can keep the board clear, he beats down really hard, but that's really tough to do. So I think I just prefer Scorpion. Nobody ever wants to block that guy, and he's got a really, really cheap scavenge cost. I'm going to take a Towering Indrik here. All right, so we got the Gerard's Orders back, but there's also a Selesnya Keyrune here and a second Zanikev Locust. I think one Zanikev Locust is okay. The Gerard's Orders is pretty decent in our deck, although I just really hate doing the turn 4 do nothing. It's not, and we can get some reasonable stuff here, but nothing really amazing, but we can pitch stuff like Zanikev Locust. Otherwise, we're taking the Keyrune so that we can splash the Centaur Healer a little easier. Yeah, we'll take the rare. We'll go with Gerard's Orders here. There's a Grizzly Salvage, a Rites of Reaping. I'm going to take the Salvage, though. And another Trestle Troll. This is turning out pretty well for us. Yeah, I'll take another Aerial Predation. There are decks that you just want as many of those as you can get, so fair enough. So if we Gerard's Orders, we can pick up, I mean, I just wish we had like a bomb to grab with it, you know, just something like a Pack Rat or something that, you know, we really want to go get. Right now we're getting like Dragmangler or something, or this guy. I mean, we're pitching this guy in the yard and getting like this to scavenge onto. It's just not that impressive. It costs a lot of mana as well. It's good value, but it's a lot of mana. Big tempo hit. Not a lot for us in this pack. There's a Slime Molding. I don't think there's anything else that would even go in the deck. That's sad. We'll take the Slime Molding. It's a fine card. Oh, this is interesting. So we get past a Call of the Conclave, one of the better cards for that deck, but we're not really in that deck anymore. Also an Arrest, Mythic Uncommon. But there's also just a Stab Wound here. And while we probably are splashing white, and I think Arrest is better than Stab Wound, I think I'm just going to take the Stab Wound to minimize the impact of our white splash here. Same thing, same logic for Call of the Conclave. Stab Wound's a great card. I don't think I really need to get too complicated here and go for anything else. Alright, there's just nothing here. I guess we cut this Street Spasm or this Hellhole Flailer or something. There's just not, I mean, I'm not going to play this guy. Not that he's awful or anything, but we're already pretty stacked up at 4. And let's take the Street Spasm. It is splashable if things turn out in that direction for us. There's another Trestle Troll. A Seek the Horizon. If we play that, we could play this and this, but that's just, ugh. Is It Charm is 2 colors we're not in. Splatter Thug is sweet, but just not on color for us at all. I guess I'm taking the 3rd Trestle Troll here. This is getting a little bit ugly. Centaur's Herald? Sure. Take it over the 4th Trestle Troll? I'd prefer to have my creatures be a bit more aggressive than this, but I guess this is what we got. Take a Savage Surge here. Yeah, I think we're getting cut pretty hard. Like we have not seen much at all for us out of these packs. We were really hoping to pick up some Dead Revelers and maybe some Grim Roustabouts or Thrillkill Assassins, but we did ship some pretty sweet Rakdos stuff in pack 1, so it seems to be getting eaten up down the line here. I guess I'll take this. Like, I'm just not playing any of these. More garbage. Rubbleback Rhino or take the rare. It's worth like a ticket. Rubbleback Rhino actually goes pretty reasonable in our deck though, so I'll take it. Yeah, this last pack has just been complete misery. Alright, well, we got the Locust. We got all 4 of these. I guess I'm just going to take another Xanakev Locust. I don't know that I want another Towering Indrik, and Locust does, it can at least finish a game off. Oh, rare draft. We don't have any ramps, so I don't think we can really get away with that. I don't think we're playing these. Alright, well, it kind of came together. We certainly have a deck here. I'm not really sure what it's going to do, but we'll find out. All right, let's build this thing and see what it can do. We got 3 Aerial Predation, so if we do run into the All Flyers deck, we won't have an issue there. We've also got the Towering Indrik down there, you see. Probably playing those. I'm just putting everything in to begin. All right, that's 28. So we need to make 5 cuts, but we got 20 creatures, so we know we need to just cut a bunch of creatures. Not sure how good these Trestle Trolls actually are in the deck. I mean, usually I'll run 3 Trestle Trolls not without even a thought, but the problem, the reason why I would do that is because I really, really want to get to the late game. And while I can see some ways that our deck can do well in the late game, like 1 Karasta Guildmage can certainly go a long way to helping us win the late game, and we do have some Scavenge and stuff, so we can make some just huge threat and try to kill our opponent. It's not really that potent. Like, these things kind of don't contribute to that either. Like, they're just sitting there enabling the late game. We need to make 2 cuts. I could just cut the healers. I mean, it's a sweet card, but we really don't have any fixing here at all. Our deck is pretty lame like this, but I think this is what I want to start off with. If we find a deck that the healer's particularly good against, like if we play against Rakdos, then maybe we'll stretch and try to fit that in there. But I think this is what I want the deck to look like now. Draw's Orders is a little sketchy. Again, just because we just don't have anything amazing to get with it. And we've already got like Grizzly Salvage, which is going to do a lot of the work that kind of card would do. But These are all of our creatures, and then we got a couple of tricks and a couple of removal spells. It's not looking great here. Yeah, I think this is what we're going to run, though. Can the super dirtily Golgari deck get there? I'm not really sure. Yeah, this looks about right to me, though. We want green a little bit earlier. We have a little bit more green in the deck overall, so we'll hedge it that direction. But yeah, let's see what this thing can do. I haven't had a deck like this before.